We have BlueEyes, some standard Traptrix. We've been following that for a little while. Rikka with the Seal of Orichalcos. There's some very interesting decks for you this week from the OCG's very diverse format. Yeah, 33% of you. Oh, come on, please support the channel. Or, just make sure that you are subscribed, all right? Because I've been reading a lot of comments where people have not been, so very important to stay on top of that. First, what we'll be looking at today is BlueEyes White Dragon. You don't get the chance to see a lot of these BlueEyes lists actually show up. I think a lot of people kind of discount this deck for what it actually does, and it does a lot of stuff still. I mean, for as much as one of the most generic looking BlueEyes Seto Kaiba decks that I've seen in a very long time, just burst out the Tyrant Dragon, and you kind of just attempt to win the game from there. So this is basic good stuff. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of BlueEyes Alternative White Dragon. We have one Jet Dragon with one Magna Hut, triple copies of Maxi with triple copies of the White Stone of Ancients. We have one the White Stone of Legend, and then of course 3 copies of BlueEyes White Dragon. We have triple copies of the Bingo Machine Go with 2 copies of Called by the Grave. We have triple copies of Dragon Shrine with triple copies of Melody the Awakening Dragon. 2 copies of Trade-In with triple copies of Ultimate Fusion. We have 2 copies of Infinite Permanence, triple copies of Skill Drain, and we have triple copies of the True Light here, wrapping up your main deck. Extract down here, got 1 Lingaribo with 1 Nightmare Phoenix, with 1 Dragoobleon, with good old, yeah, we're actually doing this, alright, with Photon, with Hope Harbinger, with number 100, Dingrisu. We have Senshin, the Ravenous Crocodon, good old Spirit Dragon with Moonlight, Azure Dragon, and then triple of the BlueEyes Tyrant. Then we're citing 2 copies of Baldrake. We're playing 2 copies of Phantasme, 2 copies of Ghost Bell, 2 Ghost Ogres, 2 Space Rocks, triple Cosmic Cyclone, and then 1 copy of Cosmic Cyclone here, wrapping up your BlueEyes Good Stuff deck. Now, so move on along here, we have Traptrix. Now, every week I do kind of like seeing what Traptrix can do. Now, the problem with this deck was the structure deck didn't strengthen this enough. It was a step in the right direction, but the problem was this deck falls very, very short of actually kind of standing up to the metagame. The new support was a fantastic addition to the strategy, but it, like I said, it fell a little bit short and left a little bit to be desired. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. We have 2 Drolls, triple copies of Effect Veiler with triple copies of Maxi. We have 2 copies of the Arachnocampa, 2 Atrax with 2 Dianea. Then we have triple Mantis with triple copies of Maramelio, triple copies of Boudica with 2 copies of Orchard. We have 1 Floodgate with 1 of the super best awesome Trapple, triple Infinite Permanence with 1 Time Space Trapple. We have triple copies of Torrential Tribute. We have triple copies of Holtia and 1 Traptrix Trap-Hole. And then of course triple Sarah with a Boral Sword, that's interesting. 1 Asa with 1 Rafflesia, 2 copies of the Punangulia, 1 Tornado Dragon with 1 Time Thief Reader. We have 1 copy of Dugaris with 1 Baguski, 1 Samurai, 1 Zeus, and 1 Dweller. And we have 2 copies of Shifter, 2 Called by the Grave, triple Cosmic, 1 Feather Duster, triple Evenly, 1 Red Reboot, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up your Traptrix specialty. And then we also have this. This is Rikka playing a copy of the Seal of Orichalcos via set rotation, and that is hilarious to me that they got away with actually putting in the seal. It's an extra layer of board nuke. Set rotation makes it so they can't really do anything, and this also locks their extra deck. In pretty much 95% of the scenarios, if you're giving this to your opponent, is going to end up in your favor, which is kind of interesting. So we have 1 copy of Cyclamen, we have 1 Erica with 1 Helleborn, we have triple Maxi with triple copies of Mudan, we have 1 Primula with triple copies of Petal, and we have triple copies of Rikka Princess with 1 copy of Snowdrop, 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone with triple copies of Extravagance, we have triple copies of Glamour, triple copies of Con with 1 set rotation, 1 terraforming, 1 copy of the Seal of Orichalcos, 2 copies of Rikka Sheet with 1 Tranquility, triple copies of Ravelry, and triple copies of Summon Limit here, wrapping up your main deck. Down the extra deck, we have 1 Thrasher, We have one Dryas with 2 copies of Jasmine, triple copies of Teardrop. We have 1 copy of Hyperton, triple copies of Storeno, triple copies of Kenzashi, and 1 copy of Alcei. Then we have 1 copy of Pinkertops, 2 copies of Gamma Seal, triple copies of Evenly Matched, triple copies of Imperial Iron Wall, triple Royal Decree, and then we have triple copies of the White Howling here. Wrapping up Rikka. Actually, seeing this card see play right now, I think is kind of hilarious. Next up here, we have Sprite Kishki. Now, if you've been kind of wondering, like the state of some of the combination hybrids in the OCG, this is going to put you in a pretty good understanding of, how they're using these. I mean, it's almost like having level 2 synergy was a really good idea. All right. Also, a Nemesis here getting the chance to balance itself. You're getting to tribute the opponent's monsters to fulfill full ritual cost. And we're actually playing spiritualism. Yep. We've definitely come a long way here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, triple copies of Kishki Abyss, with triple copies of Kishki Grim, triple copies of Kishki Shadow, and we have 2 copies of Vision, triple copies of Maxi with triple Sprite Blue, 1 copy of Sprite Carrot with 1 Sprite Jet with 1 Sprite Red, and we got triple Nemesis, triple copies of Focalization, 2 copies of Good Old Called By with 1 Crossout. We have 1 Aquamere with 1 Ice Mirror, 2 Pot of Prosperity, 1 Smashers, 1 Starter, and triple Imperm. Down the extract, we have 1 Trisbania, 1 Sprind with 2 Elves, 1 Avermax, 1 Unicorn with 1 IP. We have 1 Axis Code Talker, 1 Gustav Max with 1 Soul Sweeper, 1 Mannequin Cat, 1 Herald of Pure, 1 Gigantic Sprite, 1 Downer, and 1 Zeus. Side deck here, we got triple Droll with a Jowgen, triple Space Rock, triple Cosmic with 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Spiritualism, and 1 copy Talents here, wrapping up your Kishki good stuff. I feel is like the best way to say this. This deck is pretty solid, all real things considered. If you want something kind of fun to play going forward, I'd give this a shot. Next up here is Scareclaw Sprite, or Scareclaw Tri-Brigade. Well, I mean, it does fit the bill for the level of synergy that you want with Beast Warriors. Okay, so kind of opening up the door here to a new adventure. So we have triple copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joy Spring, 1 copy of Fenrir, triple copies of Max C with 2 copies of Rescue Cat. Then we have 1 copy of Acro, 1 Scareclaw Kashtira with triple copies of Reichhart, and then we have 1 Cerebral, 2 Frogdoll with 2 Karis, triple kit with triple copies of Nerval. We have 1 Vice of Starfrost with 2 Call by the Grave. We have 1 Crossout Designator with 2 Tenkis. Then we have 1 Parios, 2 Rectophobia, 1 Rhoda with 1 Arrival, 1 Terraforming, triple Imperm, and 1 copy Revolt. Extract down here, you got 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Shirog, 1 Rugal with 1 Frigette, 1 Bear Broom with 1 Elf, 2 Lightheart with 1 Almirage. Then we have 1 Dagger for Hire, 1 Apo, 1 Double Dragon Lords, 1 Axis Code, 1 Herald, and 1 Baron. Side deck here we got triple Drone Lockbird, 1 Space Rock, triple Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Dark Rollers, 1 Harvey's Feather Duster, triple Evenly, 1 Red Reboot, and we're playing 1 Scareclaw Twin Saw here, wrapping up your Tri-Brigade good stuff. And then we also have a Kashtira deck here. So after all of the changes and things that this deck has been through, they basically have had to go to Ogre control, which basically this gets to excavate the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. You get to banish a card, and then you're basically going to use preparations here to basically continue to reuse, what little good cards that you do have access to. So, and of course, they've been forced to have access to this. It's interesting. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 2 Dimension Shifters with 1 Fenrir, triple Ogre with triple copies of Riseheart. We have 1 Unicorn with triple Maxi, 1 copy of Planet Pathfinder with 1 Kashtira Scareclaw, 2 copies of the good card, 1 Crossout with triple Birth, triple Papayas with 1 Necro Valley, 2 Desires with 2 Pot of Prosperity, 1 Parios, 1 Set Rotation, 1 Terraforming, 2 Imperm, 1 Big Bang, 1 Preparations, and triple Solemn Judgment here. Wrapping up your main deck. Extract down here, we have 1 Goliath, yes. You do stick this underneath your big guy. We have 1 Donner with 1 Soldier of Chaos, 1 Red Ice Flare with 1 copy of Diabolsis, 1 Big Eye with 1 Dracossack, 2 copies of Shangri-La, 2 Rise Heart with 1 Zeus, 1 Dark Armed, 1 copy of Chang Ying with 1 Baron. We have 1 copy of Pinkertops, 2 Drolls, triple Big Balls, 2 Dark Hole, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Anti-Scam Fragrance, and triple copies of Evenly Matched here, wrapping up, well, your chunk of OCG goodies this week. There is a lot of interesting little bits and pieces that have been moving in the OCG, and I am very, very happy to get the chance to talk about this stuff. It's very interesting. So, what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I look forward to seeing what other goodies that the OCG balance format really brings to the table. Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.